Okay, class. Monday's lesson, you'll be doing your text response essay. So here's a quick little video just for your revision over the weekend to wrap your head around what's expected of you in a text response essay and a few techniques of how to prep for it once you've found out your topic. So there's three sorts of questions you could get asked when doing a text response essay. The first is a statement on the text followed by a task instruction. So for example, the sword and the stone shows us how ridiculous the chivalric code is. Discuss. Okay, so they've made their statement and then they're asking you to discuss this statement. Now you can agree or disagree. It's up to you. So what does it require? It requires you a debate. It requires you to question or explain a topic, give evidence, reasons, and an explanation for or against the topic. So don't worry, you can be for or against. The next type of question will be a direct quote from the task, followed by a task. So a direct quote from the text followed by a task. So in this example, we have a quote from Merlin, and it says, "Only fools want to be great. To what extent do you agree with this statement?" Now these questions are just questions I've come up quickly, just to give you a quick example. The questions you'll have on the test will be a lot better than this. So with this one, you have to ask yourself, do you agree? Okay, so it's asking you, to what extent do you agree with this statement? Do you agree that only fools want to be great? Now, it's not just about you giving your personal opinion. You can present your own interpretation of the topics, but always link it back to evidence from the book, reasons and explanations. So only fools want to be great. In this example, off the top of my head, you might want to talk about K and how K wants to be great, and really the reality is he's a bit of a nuffer. Okay? So, the last one is a direct question on an aspect of the text. For example, what is the authorial purpose of the questing beast? Now remember, as we talked about in class, authorial purpose means what is the purpose, what is the author's purpose for putting in this example, questing beast into the story. So you might discuss how the questing beast is, the purpose of it there is to really make us question the whole chivalry, the whole purpose of questing, the whole purpose of being a knight. You know, they go off on these ridiculous quests and they really have no purpose at all. They're doing it more for the fact that they're questing as opposed to the actual outcome of the quest. As we demonstrated in with King Pellinore and the questing beast, when he stops questing and the questing beast comes sick, he, instead of catching it, he nurses it back to health and sends it off so he can keep chasing it again. The object is the quest and not the actual purpose of the final product of the quest. Don't forget, guys, really good to talk about authorial purpose in your text response. Don't put it in if you don't know what it means or if you're using it willy-nilly. But if you can actually use authorial purpose, that shows a really deep understanding of the text. So when we're answering these questions, some of the things you might want to be thinking about is if it's a how question or a why question. So if it's a how, you're looking at explaining, outlining, or describing the ways in which the text illustrates the topic by drawing on textual evidence, structures and features, and metalanguage. Okay, metalanguage, fancy word, guys, for language around a set topic. So the metalanguage of English, we might be using terms like authorial purpose. You might be talking about the way they structure sentences. It's language, words to do with, in this case, English. Okay? Or you might think, is it a why question? Explain reasons to support the idea represented in the topic. Pretty basic stuff, guys. So, how do we prep? Well, the moment you get in there and you get your topic sheet, underline the key words and phrases. Okay? If you're allowed to have a dictionary, use your dictionary to identify any words you're unsure of. I don't think this is really going to be all that necessary for you guys. I'm sure they're not going to have any tricky questions, any tricky words on there. If there's a quote, identify the context. Consider why it's significant. So have a quick think. Where's this quote come from? Who's saying it? Why are they saying it? Why is it significant in relation to the topic? Write out a list of synonyms. You can do this very quickly for any key words. Remember what we talked about in regards to lexical cohesion. Good to have this good list of words so you don't have to keep repeating the word that's in the topic sentence. That really poor essay writing. So just, even if it's just 2 or 3 words that you can kind of switch back and forth between. Really good little technique. Should only take you probably 30 seconds. You don't want to waste too much time on this, but just good preparation. Next, prepare your mind. Ask yourself, to answer this question properly, what do I need to think about and write about? Okay, consider the following: characters, their development and relationships. Hark back to that lesson that we had on characters. What are the themes or issues? Think about what we talked about in themes. How relevant is that to the topic? Think about authorial purpose. Just give yourself a minute. Quickly think through these things, okay? Time spent preparing yourself at the beginning of the essay will pay off in dividends at the end. Okay, the next thing to do, work out your contention. What's your point of view? What's your stance? What's your position that you're going to be arguing? Okay, essays are an argument. What are you going to be arguing in favor of? Generally, there's 4 positions you can take. Either yes, you completely agree. Yes, however, therefore you only partially agree. So in this instance, you'd present other considerations in relation to the topic. So if we're talking about, let's say, some question in relation to the questing beast, you might say yes. However, the questing beast may also represent blah blah blah. So the third option is no, you completely disagree with the topic, and in that case, you present your other view, or no, however, partial disagreement. So you present other considerations of the topic. So remember, guys, these are your 4 contentions. What is your contention? Nut it out. Maybe write it on a scrap of paper. So you're reminding yourself all the time what it is. Your contention should be clearly expressed in 1 sentence. Okay, and that 1 sentence is going to be placed in your introduction. If possible, use different words to the topic question. These are masterclass kind of stuff, guys. If you're repeating the topic question, you'll get all right grades. But if you can put your contention in different words, and that's why we had those quick list of synonyms, it's going to be fantastic. Essay plan. Jot down a quick planner. Trust me, it's time well spent. Okay? Just a couple of minutes. You want write down your contention quickly. Briefly outline your first reason and point. And any evidence you're going to use to support this first reason. Briefly outline your second reason or point and evidence to support second reason. If you're going to have a third paragraph, briefly outline your third reason or point and evidence to support that reason. Okay? Really, if you spend a couple of minutes doing this, guys, it's going to just, when it actually comes to writing the essay, you're going to absolutely fly through it. Okay, so now when we get to writing, introduction is going to be the very first paragraph. And let me just say quickly, the best advice I ever got when writing an essay was just a quick synopsis of the body of the essay, and it goes like this. Introduction, tell them what you're going to tell them. Body of the essay, tell them. Conclusion of the essay, tell them what you just told them. Okay, so keep that in mind when you get into writing the essay. Of course, it's a bit more complex than that, but keep that in mind so you can just remember what you're doing in each parts of the essay. So possible features of your introduction. And remember, these might not be appropriate for all your essays. A sentence introducing author and text. In the novel The Sword and the Stone, T.H. White explores the themes of, or explores, whatever you want. You might want to put in a clear sentence stating your contention. In fact, I strongly encourage you to put in a clear sentence stating your contention. You might say something along the novel's central themes is, or something like that. Remember to always try and keep yourself out of essays. Don't say, I think, or anything like that. Always talk about, because the novel is what you think. The essay is what you think. So, phrase it in ways of this essay contends. Even that's quite weak. Try and frame it around something like this novel's central theme is, or something like that. Okay. So an outline. The next thing you might want to put into your introduction is an outline of the main points. Like you've made your first sentence talking about what. Introducing T.H. White in the novel. Your second sentence is your clear sentence stating your contention. And then you might want to outline the main points that you're going to talk about in the body. So you might say, this is revealed through, and then you say your first point. And then additionally, second point, and finally, your third point, also supports your contention. Okay, so these words that we're using here, additionally, finally, these are text connectives, which we would have learned later in the chapters of the self-paced module. But don't worry, these sort of stuff you're using already naturally. Okay, so quotes. It's really great to contextualize a quote within your introduction that is relevant to the topic, but don't feel obligated to. So here I've written, through the character of Big Jack, T.H. White explores the question relating to tyrannical government that might is right. Okay, so there's my quote, just a little simple one that I can remember. You don't have to put your page numbers in. If you can't remember the quote exactly, paraphrase it. If it's a long quote, paraphrase it. Put it in your own words. Okay, it's better than nothing. In the body, the aim of the body is to develop your contention from the beginning to the end of the body. Okay, so remember that each paragraph is based around a new idea. Don't throw all your ideas into one paragraph. So aim for 2 or 3 good paragraphs. With your paragraphs, remember the Teal structure. Okay, so it's topic sentence. The first sentence of your paragraph states that the idea you're going to states the idea that is going to be discussed. Do not describe a character or scene from the text. Okay, and then the next line is your evidence. This is where you use your quotes or your paraphrasings or a brief description of some part of the text or some overview of the text that you're using as evidence to back up your topic sentence. The next sentence is your explanation, or the next section of the paragraph is your explanation, where you're explaining, you're going into more detail about how this evidence relates back to the topic sentence or the point of your paragraph. And the last sentence, which is the L in the Teal structure, stands for link. This is the last sentence of the paragraph, and you can link it back to the topic sentence or your main contention. This sentence is contestable. A lot of people don't link it to anything. They just use it to conclude their paragraph, and that's fine as well. Okay, but just remember, it's that final thing. You're just kind of wrapping up your paragraph. When you've finished your body, after you've written your 2 or 3 good paragraphs, you're writing your conclusion. This is essentially a restatement of your contention and a summary of your main points. So remember, it's tell them what you've already told them. So things to remember is don't put any new ideas in here. Make sure you restate your contention and don't ask rhetorical questions. You're just summing everything up. Make it nice and clean. So in a nutshell, intro, tell them what you're going to tell them. Body, tell them. Conclusion, tell them what you already told them. If there's any issues with this, feel free to email me over the weekend and I'll try to get back to you. It is Father's Day, so I won't be on email all the time. Good luck with the test on Monday, guys. I think you'll do really well. There's some really deep thinking going on in the class. Go back onto the class forum. Look what we've been chatting about over this. Over the weekend, you might want to chat with other people in the forum about it. Maybe someone starts a forum for prepping for the test on Monday. Go back over the lesson, the self-paced modules that we've done, and think about how you're going to incorporate those. The lesson of lexical cohesion within your writing. When you're doing those paragraphs, remember, the very basic one is repetition. Maybe aim for using a few synonyms so you don't have to repeat those same words. Okay, so you want cohesion within your paragraphs. Okay, guys, good luck, and may the force be with you.